Welcome back to Cocktails with the Queens. We are excited to have a special guest on the show joining us tonight, Columbus Short. Thank you, Columbus, for being here.
Thank you guys for having me. All you beautiful queens, my sisters. I owe Lisa Ray an apology because when I was coming to get her, I went and got Vivica for True to the Game, but I was coming to get her too, right? And I called her and I said, "Can I speak to Lisa, please? I'm trying to find Lisa."
Wow.
She hung up the phone. Hung up.
Yeah, I already know.
I called. Mom just hung up. No word. Just hung up the phone. I called back again. I said, "I'm sorry." Lisa hung up again. Then I called back. She said, "It's Lisa Ray," and I said, "My bad." So I just wanted to say my apologies. You learn something new every day, and that day I got checked.
I love that you said it again. You got nothing but love for me, baby.
Wow, you are. She does not play. I know that for sure.
At all.
No.
At all.
At all.
You know.
You do. You do.
You do.
Okay, Columbus. Listen, let's just jump right into it. Okay. Before we talk about what you've been up to in your amazing career, and listen, no one can argue about your talent as an actor. You are one of the best actors I've ever seen on the screen. You are effortless. You are effortless and so believable and so real. We want to talk about the recent headlines you've been involved in.
Yeah.
What happened?
Well, because me and my wife are actively trying to get the case thrown out because it's ridiculous. I can say, this is what I can say if I'm being fully transparent. There was an incident which was neither her being physically violent to me nor me to her. But the police was called. And I've been going through a lot in the last month, finding out who I am, like for real, like who I am, family dynamics, and emotions were high, and my emotions were high, all of that stuff. But the police came here, and that's my baby boy up there. You might want to go get him. They came here, and they didn't want to take either one of us, but they looked at my history. This of supposed domestic violence, and then they were here for like an hour and a half trying to figure out, do we take some, but we can't, like, what do we do? And so they took me in, and I want to say this, like, I don't want to, my wife is Armenian, and I don't want to make it seem like they took me because I'm a Black man. I don't want to play that card, right? Because the LAPD did treat me like a gentleman. They treated me with respect, and they got me in and they got me out. It was ridiculous, but so there was no charges pressed. And then I jumped out the window, I think, because I heard from Kiki Tyson, who's like my big sister, like one of you guys. She called my wife and said, "Hey, TMZ's told us this is coming down the pike." And I was like, "Man, TMZ again." And really my frustration, why I was like, the last time I went through this, everybody told me to shut up. And, it wasn't true what was being said, and I never defended myself, nor did anybody else. So I was like, you know what? I clicked out PTSD, the old trauma. It's a lot of anxiety I've carried from that last experience. And so, every time a headline comes out, I go into these panic attacks. And so I'm like, man, let me get out in front of this thing, which wasn't the best. I wasn't advised to do that. I just did that. And I think that wasn't the best thing to do. But I mean, I said it. And you know what? I stopped the press because they tucked that story because they, the thing about TMZ is I've done so much work in my career. And for all of those years, I didn't get no GQs. I wasn't in I didn't get no press. Like I was like, nobody knew unless they saw my work that I was working. And then all of a sudden it's like, I'm more famous for being an alleged abuser than I am for the work that I really put in my entire life. And
Columbus, you think you're damned if you do, damned if you don't when you're a celeb. If you speak on it, it's like, why are you giving it attention if you don't? Because I have to read the headline for those that don't know. It says, former Scandal star Columbus Short charged with 2 misdemeanors after domestic violence arrest. So you heard about this and you went to your social media. Do you feel like you can't win if you get ahead of it? Do you think it helped you in the end?
Honestly, at this point, guys, I'm getting completely transparent. I don't give AF anymore about because the job is not, I used to think it's like, I gotta, these career goals, and I was very career goal oriented, and, movies and TV, and look what's going on in the world. Like my position, my job is bigger than entertainment, and it's bigger. It's about community, and it's about I'm doing all this work, and I think that's why, let me just say the devil's a liar. Like, as I'm doing all of this stuff that nobody sees, there's got to be some, because we're doing big things for the world. And, I think there's that natural spiritual warfare that we're dealing with. So, I just don't care. Like, but I do want to be decent. I want to do everything decently in order. So, and I do have a system. Like, you guys are sisters. If one of you guys called me and said, "Hey, Columbus, I have to be obedient to the instructions that you give me because I respect you as my sisters," right? So that's where we are, and my brothers that are, I thought I was alone in the world, and realizing I'm not has been a blessing.
I just want a quick question, because you spoke on something that is very important as a Black man. You sat here and you talked about PTSD and anxiety. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's a real thing. And Black men are just now starting to, speak on this. So what are you doing to control or, get a hold of your PTSD and anxiety? Question. Are you seeing someone?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great question. So, and I'm proud. I got this wonderful therapist. He's wonderful. And, I had another one before, and now I'm with this guy. And it's like being able to unpack these things, right? I got a wonderful experience with Dr. Amen at the Dr. Amen clinic last week, Dr. Jeff Faber, and I got to see my brain. You know what I'm saying? And so I flew through a windshield of a car when I was 16. I played football, and I got to see my brain. There's things in your brain that, these are things that if we don't go unaddressed, they trigger things, trigger emotional stuff. You know what I mean? The back of my brain is Gucci. That's how I remember lines so quick. And
okay.
The front. We got to get the front together. So I seeing those things and talking to him and my therapist, because everybody wanted to know what's up. Like, is he crazy? Is he this? And getting a real diagnosis of PTSD, generalized, chronic PTSD and generalized anxiety. It's like, okay, what do we do from here, right? And I do feel those things. Anxiety is real, but it all comes from trauma. We all experience trauma, and in our culture, and I can't just say our culture. I think a lot of cultures, but I'm finding out now, like, I'm tired of Black secrets, right? Black families are all these secrets. Black families and all this stuff you sweep under the rug, and you find, finding out stuff later when you're 39 years old. That's all part of the trauma, right? So working through those things is amazing. Excuse me. Working through those things is amazing with Dr. Stephen Palmer. And he's the best gift I've been gifted in recent days.
Thank you for talking about that.
Absolutely.
Because a lot of people don't, and people are quick to write people up. Oh, he's just a abuser. He's just a this. He's just a that. Things may show up sometimes like that, but there's also a point of where some of the stuff comes from. So addressing, I didn't know you were in an accident.
Quickly, my name, Columbus Keith Short. I'm Columbus Keith Short Jr. And the name of the man that, I carry his name, he wasn't the best man. You know what I'm saying? And there was a lot of stuff that was attached to his name that, boom, come, and now, as I'm discovering things, it's like, dang, paying for your father's or the man's sins is the name. The name. Power is in the name.
Columbus, me and you, we go back, and I was like really busy at the time that when it came up, to be honest with you, I was just like, whew.
Right.
I didn't want to call, I didn't want to beat you up about it. I just had to, I didn't for just a second. Yeah. And that's why, I sent you the message that I did privately. I don't need to beat you up because I believe, sometimes incidents get blown out of proportion. So right. We thank you for being transparent. Absolutely. And, because there's two sides to every story, but I want to switch gears. Let's get back to talent, because it is what you do. It is your gift, my brother. You are a very, very talented actor, and you have more gifts to give.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay? I want you to know that. And, we're going to always be here with love. If you man up and like you did, you accept accountability and responsibility. But I want to get to your talent. So I want to know, we done did two together. 1, 2.
I just want to say, I don't care what people talk about. Me and my wife, we are real. This is we're a real thing. We have
That's
two
good
real
to say.
You know what I mean?
But in having a real relationship, It is a partnership. And
Right.
it's called having good communication, that when you feel things are getting heated and that someone's losing their temper, and when the cops come because of the color of your skin, brother, they gonna want to get you. Y'all as a couple have to know that.
Right.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
And I explained that to her as well. We're raising black boys.
Exactly.
Black. They're not, yes, they're mixed Armenian and black, but they black. You know
So
what I'm
they got temperature up in there. So y'all just make sure when the damn temperature get hot, somebody say, gotta take a break. That's all I'm asking, because that's a partnership.
Thank
I
you.
see love, and we like to see that.
All right.
Mrs. Short, how are you doing? How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Hi, ladies.
Hi.
Sorry, my voice is gone. We had too much fun at the Laker game last night.
They're trash.
They got their ass kicked, didn't they?
Girl, like they stole something.
I'm doing good. I know that, Vivica, you're absolutely right. When things get a little heated, sometimes we got to take different, find other constructive ways, to find solutions to mitigate the situation.
But this all goes back to mental health, right? A lot of us, she's had trauma in her life, and she's just now in her 36 years, just now sitting down with someone. I'm just, in finding out traumas, I'm like, I didn't know that about you. Right. You know what I mean? Because people don't share. So I don't know her triggers, and she, there's some stuff that I buried deep. I didn't know my triggers, and so, but us now actually figuring out, like, oh, you're doing stuff. We always take things personal.
Yeah.
Like, it's quiet. She's like, why are you not talking to me? You know what I mean? Like, what's going on? And what y'all women, you guys like to fix things right away, and now you're like, we can't sometimes. Like, you want to figure out what's going on. Go ahead, Lou.
You're still learning each other. We're still learning each other, even as an individual. So as a couple, that's even harder, and it takes longer. Yeah. But I think right now, what you all are showcasing, this love, this family, this togetherness, that is what needs to spread, because you guys are a union.
We are.
Happens.
And my bishop, who's like, Bishop Charles Dorsey, he, I don't go, he's like my dad, but I'm like, he said, did she weather the storm? She weathered the storm? I said, yes, she weathered the storm. He said, then you got to stick with her. You got to stick with her. I said, okay.
Is there anything you like to say to each other in front? So, I like things that come from the horse's mouth, because we've all been a victim of people telling us stories. Is there anything y'all like to say to each other in front of everyone that's watching?
Love you. I got you. My job is to provide and protect, and that's what I do every day.
Yes.
I grind very hard every day. I love on you. I love on them boys. That's my job. That's what I do.
Well, I feel one good thing too. Universally, you love music, because I saw on your Instagram that you've been hashtagging Levitate 2022.
Yeah. So that's music. Like, that's music. I come from music. My music is in my blood, and so I'm finally finished my album after all these years, and she's been a huge factor. Okay, you got to get him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh wait, we didn't get to hear from her though.
Oh, yeah.
Right. I'll say, first of all, thank you, ladies, for providing the platform for us to be able to voice, our feelings and emotions and our traumas and everything, the good, bad, and the ugly. So thank you for that. And I really do sincerely want to say, that I'm so proud of him. Not in an artificial sense, truly as the man that he's really become. I've known him for 14 years, and that's not a little bit of time. That's a long time. And so to see him mature into who he's into his purpose, and me and mine, it's just beautiful to see that we can build a beautiful family. We're going to have bumps here and there, but I feel like, if we stick together, we communicate, we respect each other, I think there's no reason why we shouldn't make it, and raise two amazing kids. It doesn't matter the color, it doesn't matter where they're from or what it is. I think if we give them that love, genuine love, is as long as they're good human beings, because we're good human beings, you know what I mean? So I think that if we instill that in them, then, we're winning. And I love you very much.
God bless you. Thank you for your time, Queen.
Thank you.
And really, more importantly, thank you for y'all transparency. Because, we are here to offer love and support. As Lisa Ray said, shit happens.
Right.
So just learn that when the temperature rising.
Yeah, she hear you.
We're going to keep going.
Okay, all right. But now let's go to a little bit of career. All right, because me and you done made True to the Game 1, 2, and 3, and I don't know. You just now telling me that Lisa Ray was your first choice. Okay, that's all right. That's all right. That's all right. So what was the best part?
No, that's messy.
Hold on. What was the best part of making True to the Game besides coming to your girl Viv?
in your music, you know, because I think that's
so yes, the music has been. So here's the thing, and I know we're running out of time. So I'm like, look, when I was kind of the rug was pulled out from underneath with me with Scandal, you know, it's been a hard road for me. I was always trying to like please Hollywood and like trying to get back my spot. And then but I wasn't doing the internal work. So then I'm like, music kind of became that internal work for me because my boys Neo and all my songwriter brothers and my producing brothers, like I was a part of a fellowship and a brotherhood, and they all blew up because they spent 10,000 hours. It takes 10,000 hours to be a master of your craft. They was in the lab 10,000 hours. I'm on movie sets. So now I've had the freedom to be in the lab and take my time and what am I saying in my music? And what am I doing? And what am I talking about? You know what I'm saying? And I realized I didn't want to write. I don't ever pull out a pen because the booth is a transmission center and I'm transmitting and I have to lock in and transmit. And so I want to be completely honest with everything I'm doing. And I finally have put together a project, a body of work that I'm really proud of, that I'm really excited about. But a part of me, my artistry is not writing just for myself. It's like writing for like Selena and like writing for, everybody, writing for J-Lo, writing for Beyonce, writing for, bringing because that's what I did when I was 20, 21. I was Britney Spears creative director. So this is my bag. I'm in my bag, right? But beyond that, I had my book out and then, I had the role of Martin Luther King that's playing with Lettucey. That's coming out this year. And the woman that Erica Malone, another queen, God has encamped his angels around me. I can never say that he hasn't, but I was so ignorant. I didn't know who the Red Angels was. I'm like, angels, man. Like, I can't see them. I don't know who the angels is. They've been around me my whole life. And, this woman is wonderful. She's produced this movie. And part of my, I want the world to know that this interview was booked before an incident happened. So this was already set up. We were already supposed to do this. Ooh. So just so that's so now we had to table this incident. And I was nervous about her. She invested, we had, before she gave me the role, we had a long conversation. It was like, that she's like, this is big, I'm trust you. And I didn't want to let her down. And she has been nothing but supportive of me and my wife. My wife is the publicist for the movie. We're a team, we're family. And the only thing that's crazy is like all of these positive things y'all would never know about an incident if I wasn't a Black man that had a name, period. Our man with a name, period. Nobody would.
Columbus, we want the world to focus on your success and we want you and your wife to truly be happy with.
And my success is based on everybody's success. Mm-hmm. I'm only as successful as you guys. I'm a mirror to you guys. I'm a mirror to my brothers in the field. We're a mirror to each other. And we're only as strong as our weakest link. So the fact of the matter is I am not in a season of, oh, woe is me. I'm not in a season of, oh, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I'm in a season of what can I do? What can we do? Can we be of service to one another? Can we build a community that for many years, why I love the Armenian community through my wife is they take care of each other. Like they really do, like in a real way. Like it's a tight knit. You need a doctor, you need a car, but you need a dentist, you need a surgeon, you need anything. Armenians, they got it and they keep it in. But we can do that with everyone. And that's what I'm about right now.
Columbus, we like to
say this in closing real quick. We need you.
Right.
Okay. Know that.
Yes, ma'am.
And Columbus, I would love to have you back after you and your wife go through this therapy. I think many people can learn from this, and I would love for you to tell us about, update us on that because I think that is so good that you're putting that out there.
Work. That's the most important work.
Yeah.
As we're working through this, I would love, the reason Dr. Amen let me do this, it's $40,000 worth of work on my brand. I let him document it. It's like, I want to be fully transparent. Let's go. We can help people by showing that everybody ain't perfect and we can work through it.
This can help so many other people that can relate. Yeah. Thank you, Columbus Road. We will continue to wish you well.
Love you,
and when you get Lisa Ray for part 4, you can come back and get Selena and me for part 5 and 6.
Me and Selena, I already got a record for you. I told you.
Selena can be on her soundtrack.
That's right.
Selena, I got a record for you, girl. I hate to do it while we doing it, but I'm gonna send you the bang bang bong.
All right. Well, we're gonna solidify these deals. We're gonna solidify all these deals during the break. We're gonna take a quick commercial break. Thank you so much, Columbus, for joining us tonight. We appreciate you, brother. We're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be back with more after this.